Oh man, long day today. And
Oh,
how's your
yeah. My day
how's
has
your
been amazing.
okay, good, good, good. Mine was long. It was work. Working a 9 to 5 and doing this or what have you. And how has your week been so far?
It's been pretty amazing. I have been seeing a lot more clients because I'm not just a dom, I'm also a professional healer psychic medium. So like I've been seeing
Mm,
a lot more clients for that, and I've been getting really busy and getting on like a content schedule. So now I'm like
mm,
rolling things out and recording things. So I'm just getting a lot busier, but more getting things dialed in. Plus, I've been sleeping, so I've been like going to
yeah.
bed. Yeah.
So now my question is being a medium, and for what I know as a medium.
Mhm.
How do you tell the spirit to stop bothering your ass so you can get some sleep?
Oh, well, actually, one of the best ways to do it is to give them operation hours. So every day when
Mm,
I wake up, I say, hey, work hours are between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., and then the shop is closed. And then they won't mess around with you at nighttime. But if you don't tell them what to do, they'll just
mm.
keep messing with you. That's just the way they are.
And 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 some people understand being a medium is a gift, you know.
Mm,
Um, and I when you was younger and you was having those experiences, did people take you serious?
no. And a lot of people, when I was younger, thought that I was crazy or schizophrenic. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing about that, which is really interesting, is that in certain tribes, indigenous tribes, they believe that the shaman should actually have a little bit of schizophrenia, if not more. So, like
Mm-hmm.
the Saka tribe, which exists in Siberia, they actually believe
Mm-hmm.
that. So, if anyone shows signs of schizophrenia, they're like, oh, that's the shaman.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
that was
because what people don't understand is that when you're a medium, you're able to look into a different plane because there's different
yes,
dimensions, you know,
yes.
and the whole nine. Because people don't realize we only use a small percentage of our brains.
Yeah, just very
So
small.
so imagine we were able to use. We ain't even using 50%. We're
No,
using
yeah.
damn near what 20, maybe 10%. You know, period.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what while a medium, they have way more brain activity than the average. So they're able to see things that others cannot, period.
Hmm. Hmm. That is true.
So, and also you're a fin, you're a dom, and
I,
go ahead. Is it what you say?
oh, I've been a Dom for 20 years, but been a FinDom for a year now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
And now I'm gonna start with this. Please explain to people what a fin dom or dominatrix or financial dom is.
sure. So a financial dom or a financial dominatrix is a person who takes a sub through a dom sub dynamic where goods, services, payments are made to reimburse them to take care of them. But it's way deeper than that. So like for
Mm-hmm.
me, my whole way of working with subs is I blend my energy work and my fin dom together. So I take the
Wow.
sub through a guided meditation, and then before we go into the, whether it's a JOI or it's a voice
Mm-hmm.
drain or any of those things, I do energy clearings on their subconsciousness so that afterwards they don't
Mm-hmm.
judge themselves or judge me and go into cognitive dissonance. So the work that I do is like it's mesmerizing or hypnotism findom, but at a
Mm-hmm.
very deeper level. And I've been doing that for a year now. Yeah.
Oh my God. So smokers, you see what kind of show this is about to be. So you're gonna have a lot to smoke over after this one. So we know what time it is. It's time to smoke this over. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge. You know who I am. I am Kevin Arthur Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Find all my links with one link on mylinks.com/porn rap star. Four sponsors to tell you about. The first being Eroticism Magazine. Next up, the wonderful blusherotica.com. For you candle people, the Kinky Candle Company. Yeah, it's worth the money. Smells good and great in bed. And for you legal beagles that need legal help, the Queen of Law, Mitchell Ferrari. Links in the description. You can find me 5 days out the week at fullswatradio.com in the mornings. Also, you can check me out on Skyhawk After Dark TV.com, as well as, excuse me, the SGP radio.com. So now, as you can see, this guy is going to be giving you this is going to be an interesting conversation. He is a Dom. He is a mental healer, a soulful healer. He is a medium. And for some of you people that's looking, you're probably saying, he's a sexy ass man. Yes, he is. I'm going to sit back and let him introduce himself to you. Tell him who you are, sir.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I was like, ooh, ooh, it got hot up in here. My my name is Celestial Goddess Luxor or Lux, which means light, based off the Luxor temple in Egypt. And
Yeah.
I am a sex worker and a healer, and I have been a professional in both of those fields for 20 years.
So now let's talk about what got you into being a Dom in BDSM. What brought you to that world?
Well, so I am also a singer, and the way that I got into the Dom world was I was in a punk rock band in Canada, and we were
Word.
selling out shows and selling out like big shows, and I was the lead singer. And basically, what happened was I
Mm.
answered an ad on Craigslist, and this is back in the day. This is like in the
Yeah, you
mid
said Craigslist. Yeah, it's back in the day.
like mid 2000s, and it
Mm,
said, "Do you want to make more money than you could ever dream of?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah," and
mm,
I answer this ad, and I go to this guy's apartment before band practice, and I sit down with this guy, and his name was T. I can't say his real
mm,
name. And he
mm,
said, "Hey, I want to hire you." He's like, "I'm starting an escorting agency. I really want to sign you up." And I was like, "Okay." And so I started working for him. But as I was coming into my energy and coming into
mm,
my value of, I was just doing like sensual massage, and then sometimes I would do full on sex, but they would need to get like an STD check. Like I was
mm,
very, very, very thorough.
mm,
I started going into band practice, and whenever the guys would do something that I didn't like, I would start standing up for myself more. And then it was interesting because then I started getting more clients that were asking for things like, "Can you do like JOI? Can you like tie me up? Can you do all of these things?" And I was like, "Tie you
mm,
up? Like what?"
mm,
And so I started. This was, by the way, I'm 40 years old, so this is like this is
mm,
like a while ago. I started tying up clients in shibari, and um, when I would tie them up, I would take them through guided meditations while they were
mm,
tied up and they were blindfolded. And
mm,
these clients were having these incredible, profound experiences with me. And were like, "I just thought you were like a dominatrix. I didn't think it was going to be all of this deep work." But they would say things to me like, "I'm making more money. My orgasms are more intense. Like, what's happening?" And I said, and this is before I even knew what femdom or fendom or any of that was.
mm,
I knew what it meant to me. I said, "You allowing me to dominate you puts you in a place of vulnerability where you can access parts of yourself that you normally can't. And I'm
mm,
empowering you to empower yourself to be able to go there with me." Um,
mm.
I was 21.
Yeah, you was young in the game.
I was 21. Yeah,
See, it's funny that music, other than swinging, music is a gateway drug to porn.
it
Because I
is.
did music, yeah, Cause
Oh.
it's funny how many people I talked to that got in the business, they did music prior to getting into the sex work business. You
Mm-hmm.
know, which both of them mirror each other as far as structure on how to make money. And to me, I think my time in music kind of got me ready for this in many ways when I did it.
Wow.
Because it kind of was like the same principle, it's just different product,
Mm-hmm.
period. So when did you figure out you was a medium?
When I could actually put a name to it and know what it
Mm-hmm.
was. So I would say that I actually knew, could
Mm-hmm.
cognitively like believe it and know it when I was probably like 18 or 19 years old, because that was when I started using it as a business.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
because
okay.
at first I kept telling people like I was a healer, which I do have a lot of different techniques that I'm certified in, and certain
Mm,
things I can do to clear out generational trauma out of people, because I come from
mm.
a very dark
Oh, I can believe
kind of, you know, interesting bloodline. um,
it. Oh, I
you
want
know,
to hear what bloodline. What's the bloodline?
well, I come from Virginia, and
Okay.
uh, the entire town, most of the town that was built, that I grew up in, was built by my grandfather. And
Wow.
I didn't know, by the way, until much later in my life. And needless to say, there was a lot of buildings that were built on certain sites that probably shouldn't have been built on, if you get what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah, yeah. Now trust me, cause it's crazy. Like even with my granddad, it was funny. My
Mm.
granddad, the house he built it from a funeral home that got torn down. He got the wood from it. So my grandma, who didn't realize she was a medium, was seeing spirits. That's why she used to leave
Yes.
the lights on because the spirits wouldn't come bother her when the lights was on.
Yes. No, it's true. That's so true, because I would walk through these buildings when I was a child and I would see these things, and in my head I was thinking that it was my imagination, right? And then there would be like Freemason symbols on the buildings,
Yeah.
and like all of the signs were there. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that, call it whatever you want. Maybe I'm a star seed, maybe it's my past lives, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to redirect the energy, and
Yeah.
was already asking spirits to go into the light when I was like 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that I could eventually like monetize it. I had no
Mm-hmm.
idea. I just knew that it was who I was,
Yeah.
and it was a product of my ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
maybe unelevated ancestors, and
Yeah.
also some that are as
Mm-hmm.
well. So that was, I mean, my childhood was me just basically reading metaphysical books.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh
was my
yeah.
childhood.
Because what people realize is it's about energy. I'm a very big proponent of energy. And it's not that the spirit is energy within us. So when we die, we have a physical death, but our energy continues to go on.
This
And
is
some
true.
people goes on to wherever they're supposed to be or wherever you may believe. And then there's some people that are earthbound for whatever reason,
Mm,
period. That where mediums come in or what have you.
yes.
So with you, how has the being medium helped you with the Dom side of things?
Oh my God, that's wow. I've never been asked that before. So, with the mediumship aspect, I'm able to already perceive what's happening with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So, say like, because I do sessions with DOMs too, as like a healer as well. But asking them very specific questions, like someone will say, "Oh, I have an issue with making more money," and I'll immediately go, "Oh, that's from your mother's side, right? So it's the matriarch." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm very meticulous about it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I'm talking to a client or a sub, it doesn't matter which one, I ask them very specific questions. Like I'll even get them to sign like an NDA, or I'll sign one so the information is,
Yeah.
private. I'll say, where does this come from? Does this come from your mother? Does this come from your father? Is this your ancestors? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very specific. Even if it's something like I can't
Mm-hmm.
orgasm, that is
Mm-hmm.
it can be generational. And when it comes to money, money is an energy, and money is passed down from generation to generation. So a lot of
Yeah.
people have generational curses that are passed down
Mm-hmm.
from their lineage that they have no idea. They don't even think it even revolves around their world, but then they'll say things or do things like, I can only spend money on myself, but not on somebody else. Or I can only spend money on someone
Mm-hmm.
else, but not myself. And then they think it's just like normal. It's like, no, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Um,
Yeah.
that that could also be considered a limiting belief system. There are also entities involved, or
Mm-hmm.
demons,
Yeah.
that need to be cleared from your bloodline. So like maybe your mother or your father did a lot of drugs or alcohol, or you know
Mm-hmm.
there when you drink or do a lot of drugs, it puts holes in your aura. So sometimes there's something
Mm-hmm.
else like running the show. So I can
Yeah.
perceive all of that within the first 10 or 15 minutes speaking to someone.
Wow. Yeah, because my
Yeah.
mom always said it you should know somebody within 5 minutes of a conversation. You know,
Yes.
that's something she always taught me or what have you,
Yes.
and everything. And two, it's kind of like I think what it comes down to, like I said, it's sensing that person's energy. With a medium, they have a sensory level that is way higher than the average human. It's like, for
Hmm.
example, why demons come after children, why children can see certain things. Like
Yes.
a lot of times, the imaginary friend is actually a ghost
Hmm.
because of the innocent eyes, because their brain is not corrupted. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's still pure or what have you. So, and just some people can still, because there's some people that were mediums early in life, but then lost it later on
Yes.
in life, whatever reason, period. So for you, it's kind of like, does being a medium, I know it does, like you kind of admit, it does help with the dominate, with being a dom. How does it help also on the sex work side of things?
Oh, what a great question. So, oh God, I have so much to say around this.
Yeah.
Orgasm is the
Mm,
energy of creation. So once you are able to use your orgasmic energy, you are able to
mm,
facilitate so many beautiful things, not only for yourself, but for other people. Like if you take a look at the Ankh, like
yeah.
the Ankh, whenever you have an orgasm, you just imagine that
Mm,
that energy is circulating and
mm,
coming back up. I always tell my clients, like, when you orgasm, imagine the energy is coming out of your crown chakra and around your body and then up and through all your chakras. And also send that money to your friends, your family. I said money. Send that energy.
You know he a financial dog. You know he a financial dog. Money came out the mouth first, goddamn.
Wow, I did, didn't I? Yeah. You say, I send this energy to my family. I send this energy to my
Mm,
friends. I send this energy back into my body because, that energy is the energy of creation. So,
mm,
um, the I've had subs come back to me and tell me that they've had such profound orgasms that they feel like the walls are melting. So they almost feel like they're
mm,
accessing a different dimension. But
mm.
not only that, like I have a Twitter space that I run every 2 weeks with my friend who is a
Yeah, I noticed
Dom
that.
too. Yeah, Audrey Audacity. And
Mm,
that, dude, that turned into its own thing organically. And there are
mm,
so many DOMs and subs that are seeking this energetic awareness because of the energy of money and because we are facilitating people through these sessions. Like, what do you like, for example, like Dom drop? What is Dom drop really? It's the
Mm-hmm.
nervous system that has facilitated people too much, that has given too much, that is going into, alert to,
Mm-hmm.
take a break and to put the energy back into your body. So we are essentially facilitators of energy, even though it is sexy and it is fun, and it is there. I would be lying to you if I told you that I was not getting a motherfucking thrill out of this every day, because I am. I love it.
Well, see, with Doms, because that's why I was telling people, Doms being domination BDSM is a mental orgasm. It's a mental experience.
It is.
Period. Because I tell anybody, if you're fucking your sub, you're doing it wrong. Because a lot of times you kill the fantasy. You lose your sub by fucking them. I'm like, I ain't want to fuck. No, I
No,
just wanted to be spanked.
exactly. Yeah. I really enjoy taking them
Mm,
through. I love doing guided meditations with them and then telling them
mm,
to just, like to do tasks for me. I love giving tasks. I'm really great at
mm,
that. I'm really good at
mm,
Findom drains. I love
mm,
voice drains. Those are my favorite. I guess because I like using my voice and I'm a singer,
mm,
I like,
mm.
I like guiding people through, Findom
Yeah.
5, 10, 25, 40, 44, 55, 66. Take a deep breath. Like that kind of energy. Like I
Mm.
love it. I absolutely love it.
And see, too, also, let's keep it 100. A financial dominant exerts the most energy. Because the reason why I say that, you're not in the same room. Majority, if you're a financial dom, you really do not see your clients.
No.
It's really more so either FaceTime, through the phone, or what have you. So that
Hmm.
means that your energy has to travel to them. They have to feel it, even though you're not in the room. Do
Yes.
you think that financial doms or people that's trying to become one should learn the power of energy and learn how to use it?
Yes, I do. I'll tell you why, because to be honest, like when you are stepping into, this sort of arena and
Mm-hmm.
you are facilitating other people and also being mindful of yourself, it
Mm-hmm.
can become uh too much for you if you're not able to ground yourself, and be
Mm-hmm.
aware of what you're doing. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, this phone is made of quartz crystal. Your iPhone is made of quartz crystal. And every time you scroll like this, your iPhone or your Samsung or whatever, it creates an artificial aura that mimics your own. So you're literally getting mimicked and blasted with energy all day long. The fact
Yeah.
that that's enough fact for you to get into meditation, to get into an
Mm-hmm.
energy clearing practice, like especially after seeing like clients or seeing subs, like you need to clear
Mm-hmm.
your energy because you don't know what you're taking on, you know?
Yeah. Because, see, like me, I'm an energy receiver, I'm not an energy giver.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I give the energy
Mm-hmm.
that someone give back to me, and I
Mm-hmm.
just repel it back to them.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Even when it comes to when I was shooting porn, the
Mm-hmm.
freakier she got, the freakier I got more turned on. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
me, the the most successful dominatrix and doms understand the power of energy and
Yes.
what it presents. Period. Even with porn, if you watching a porn, it's a certain energy that come off that screen that makes you turn on. You feel me? That's why I
Yes.
always said porn and music are the two most powerful genres on this earth because they evoke the strongest emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And you
I
encompass both.
I do. I do. I do. And I actually I have always like never separated the two because they are the same. Like if you look at like pop
Okay.
singers or
Hold on one
rock and
second.
roll. Yeah.
Hold on one second. I got to run real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I
no
can
worries. No worries.
See, I wasn't gone too long, people. I had to get my juice. Let's go. Now, what you were saying, sir, before I had to interrupt you, but go ahead, finish what you were saying. Finish your thought.
Oh, I don't remember what I was saying.
I thought I was the only one. See what happens when you get over 40? You
No.
forget shit quick.
I do,
But
yeah.
not because even to me, I learned early about when it comes to energy. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, music and porn are the two strongest energy because porn is about the orgasm. It's about the sex. There's nothing more primal than sexual urges.
Mm.
Music controls emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Music can make you happy. Music can make you sad. Music can make you think. You feel what I'm saying? And what people now I know a lot of people say, well, what about movies? Movies encompass both.
Mm.
The love making scene, the
Mm.
soundtrack for the music, for the movie. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to it, this is the question I want to ask you when I brought this up.
Mm.
What is the biggest mistake people make when they try to be a financial dom or a dom in general?
Boundaries. Boundaries. Most
Mm-hmm.
people get into it and they don't establish the parameters and boundaries for not only for subs but for
Mm-hmm.
other doms and also for themselves. So you need to understand some very basic information, and if you don't continue to uphold that energy, you will get walked all over and
Mm-hmm.
people will suck you dry. So one of the
Mm-hmm.
most important things that you need to understand is that this is financial domination. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just domination. So that means within the first like 2 to 3 messages between you and a sub, if they're not sending you money, or even if they're not like retweeting your shit, you need to
Yeah.
stop talking to them because
Amen.
it's the boundary gets like crossed very quickly, and there's a
And they
lot of
will cross it fast. They will
they
cross it.
yeah, because they're coming to you to get dominated, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're the facilitator. And I think what happens with a lot of DOMs, especially like new ones, they think that they're just getting into this from like a TikTok video or something so
Mm-hmm.
that they can make money. And I'm like, that's not really what this is. Like, you have to really put a lot of time and energy and effort into this rebranding, like you got to unfollow some people, you might have to
Yeah.
create a discord, leave a discord, like it just is like like constant work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest mistake, is that people don't understand boundaries. They don't understand that they need to put in the work, that they can't just
Yeah.
like, you know, open their DMs and be like, here's the money. Because
Mm-hmm.
your character that you're
Mm-hmm.
building, or yourself, maybe you're just yourself, that character is like needs to be built up. You're telling a story, you're telling a
Mm-hmm.
purpose for what you're doing in your findom lane, right? And
Mm-hmm.
unless you're building that character, nobody gives a fuck about what you're doing.
No. Because even with me, like, just to give an example on my end, I had a pay pig.
Mm,
When the money was slowing up, I stopped talking to him. And
right.
it literally shut him off. Because that's what you have to do as a dom. Because that part of this is Pavlov's dog.
Yes.
For some of you people, that know science. It's called, I forgot what they call, gratification or something. I forgot the term they use. But Pavlov dog, where it was a experiment where whenever the dog did something good, it gave him a treat. You feel what I'm saying? And as the dog learned, if I do this, I get this. You feel me? So it's kind of like the hardest part is for Doms to understand cutting the sub off. Because a lot of times they'll go back and start begging to this motherfucker instead of being a Dom and standing their ground. Why do people
Yes.
make that mistake?
People make that mistake because people do not realize that what is not for them will
Yeah,
pass them by. And what happens with a lot of people is they think, oh, this person is sending me. It is, you know what? I'll tell you what, brother. It doesn't matter if it's $200, $20, $2,000, $2 million. It doesn't fucking
yeah,
matter. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's not for you. And so
yeah.
what a lot of people will do is they'll try to hold on to the sub, or the sub will try to hold on to them when the dynamic's just like not working anymore, or it's
Mm-hmm.
not fulfilling on either
Yeah.
side, right? Like I get a lot of shit for saying this, but you have to treat these people like, one, they're clients, and two, they're human beings. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not just them just giving us their money. You have to take a look at the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of DOMs out there that don't do aftercare, which is like
Oh
also
no.
really, that
After
that's
aftercare
gnarly.
is actually the most important part, especially when you talk about impact play, intense play, and stuff of that nature.
Yes.
Period. Because it's a cool down process,
Yes.
physically as well as mentally. And a lot of people don't understand that,
Yes.
period. So now, in this day and age, because back in our day, well, because I'm still somewhat young in it, 'cause I've only been in it 10. Um, you was trained. Now in this day and age, it ain't no hand-to-hand teaching. So
Mm.
how do one learn to become a Dom and be trained in the internet era?
Well, uh, I would have to say one of my favorite mentors I've ever learned from is Superior G Heaven. And
Shouts out to my girl.
yeah, Superior is hands down one of the best people I've ever met in my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
She is emotionally intelligent, she is book smart intelligent, she is a lover, and she is a great with managing her money and getting
Mm-hmm.
money and teaching you how to do all that shit. So, um I have learned a huge amount of what I do from Superior, and we are friends, and I love her. And I if anybody ever wants to get mentored, highly suggest
Oh
being
yeah,
mentored
she's a
under her.
beast.
She's the
Because see, the
best.
thing, because see, the thing about it to me is that with her, like you, she understands the energy dynamic and the energy exchange. The first mistake that Doms make is you're not in power. The submissive is always in power because it takes more power to submit than it does to dominate. Because that means they're giving up complete trust. They giving it all to you, period. And it's somewhat of a training going on. They're
Yes,
training us to be the perfect master to them. We're training them to be the perfect sub to us.
correct.
Period. And I think that's why I said the problem with this is that when something stops being taboo and becomes sensationalized, that's when misinformation comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of misinformation. There's also a lot of top to bottom behavior that happens on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter a lot, and a lot of kind of like taking it back to what you were saying earlier. A lot of people are settling for the bare minimum when they know they could be asking for more, right? And so part of that has even if someone is a dom and they know they are a dom, one of the biggest things that you have to work on moving through, especially when you're first starting, is the fear of rejection and thinking that
Yes.
it's the kiss of death. And you know, Superior always tells me, she says, reroute that doubt, reroute
All
that
right.
doubt, hurry the fuck up, you know. um I can hear her voice in my head right now. But
Mm,
that fear of rejection, thinking that you're not gonna make money, all those things, like you have to understand that, like, again, what's for you is for you and what's not
mm,
is not. And that's a test from God. It's a test from the
mm,
universe. You'll
yes.
get little curveballs, you know, like, oh, if
Mm,
I send you like $200, can you send me videos of you jerking off? No, but maybe
mm.
somebody else will. See what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
like,
But see, also you have to
depends.
stick to your rules
Yeah,
because that was the one thing is like, for example, my pay pig wanted me to send the pictures of duty, doo doo in the toilet, my feet pick and my butthole pick. I had no issues doing
yeah,
that shit because I was like, it's a fucking pick. Who cares? Hey, I'm
yeah,
in
exactly.
porn. Who am I to be? I'm very secure in my sexiness. So, but the thing of it is that also as a dom, you must be willing to be flexible in your thought
Yes,
process. At the same token,
yes,
period. And every sub is different. So you can't
yes.
treat every sub the same, period. Some
Mm-hmm.
you have to be hard with. Some you have to baby,
Mm-hmm.
period. So now I'm gonna go into this because we really about to have a good discussion here, people. The image when it comes to dominatrix, doms, and all that is always the dynamic of man and woman. More so, the man dominates the woman, and then every now and then we see a woman dominates a man in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it still? Why is it hard to believe that men can dominate men? And does that mean that you're gay because you're dominating men?
Oh my God, you are amazing. Okay, I you picked the correct person to ask this question to. Are you ready?
Yo, I was waiting for this question. That's why I love talking to male dogs.
So,
Go ahead.
so okay. So I'm about to just ramble on about this for a second, but I appreciate you and your platform for this topic in particular is extremely important to me.
Yeah.
Our entire system is created by patriarchal capitalism, right? Findom, all umbrellas of BDSM and Findom in particular,
Mm,
takes the patriarchal capitalism, turns it on its front, and consensually pegs it in its ass. And so the reason for why it's still such a big deal for men, even though these men are seeking homoerotic sessions or findom sessions with both men and women providers, you know, like
mm.
sucking on the dildo, like all those things, but are still afraid of being perceived as gay because they still believe that it is weak for them to be perceived as that way. And not just that, it is beyond homophobia. It is the rejection of the energy of the goddess, which is by design feminine energy. That is
Which
the
we
reason
have
why.
both. Which
With
people don't
both.
want to admit we have fucking both.
We have both. I mean, look at me. Like, I am a
Yeah.
handsome man, but I am girly. Like, and I have always felt like I'm about to say something that's a little controversial, but I'll just
Go
say
ahead.
it. I've never lived my life as a woman, but I know what it feels like to be a woman because I've always outwardly looked queer,
Good.
even
Mm,
since I was a little kid. So when I was a little kid, when I was like, you know, even like a teenager, I used to tell my other
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends, I would say, yo, we should be on each other's side because we're both
Yeah.
going through similar things and we should be protecting each other for what's
Mm-hmm.
happening around us with all these guys that are trying to rape us, manipulate us, like
Yeah.
turn us against each other just so that they can get some dick or some pussy or some ass. Like, and that's
Mm-hmm.
literally what happens. So the reason why I love Findom is because Findom is taking that whole patriarchal capitalism and just
Mm-hmm.
like fucking with it and putting the power back in our hands,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
Yeah, because people don't realize there are men who want to be dominated by men.
They do.
That it just facts. It ain't they want to be fucked. No, it's to them the ultimate domination for them and the ultimate humiliation, the ultimate release is not to be dominated by a woman, but one of his own sex.
Yes.
Because that not supposed to happen. We can see a man dominating a woman. You can see a woman dominating a man, but you don't see, and it's not supposed to be woman dominate woman, man dominate man. You get what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It's way more unsocial and more unaccepted with that.
It is. It is. I mean, I would be like I've definitely run into some very interesting situations with subs
Mm-hmm.
online where they're men and will say that they're not a community sub and say that they're owned by a woman, but will be getting in
Mm-hmm.
my DMs and asking to be dommed by me. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
they're still like not, they're not okay with it still. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's not it's the mental domination that really fucks with their head, but it also mentally turns them on at the same time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, because the thing about it is people understand it's a form of escapism.
It is.
A sub is 9 times out of 10 a very strong and dominant person in their personal life.
Mm,
So to them, they want to service someone because they always being served. Just like a
hmm.
dom is, I'm not gonna say he's not necessarily submissive. He's not submissive, but a dom has a need to be catered to because they're not getting catering. You get what I'm saying? And we're not talking about catering as in food. You
Ah,
know, and and two, you have some men say, "Well, that's gay if you dominate a man." I hate to tell you this, dom and sub is actually unisex.
it is unisex.
It's unisex.
So
You know what
anyone
I'm
that
saying?
says like anyone that's like it's gay or whatever, like that means you probably want that for yourself. But in terms of like actual findom, like financial domination, the energy is masculine and feminine, like you were speaking of
Mm-hmm.
earlier. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the part that really still upsets people and kind of puts them in a headspace where they don't know what to do with this person. I have by nature a very intimidating energy, and I also have a very sensual energy. And so
Mm-hmm.
um, I have figured out a way to harness that. And I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
going on the timeline or on loyal fans or real adult fans, like, you know, worried about whether people are going to get scared off. I'm going to keep posting my
Mm-hmm.
content like this intense, viral, sensual energy that is
Mm-hmm.
masculine and feminine. And maybe it'll inspire some people, but it'll also piss some people off
People
too.
off.
It
No,
will.
because to me, it's like I keep saying this, and this is part of why I also do the show too. Is I
Mm.
want to show the spectrum of male sexuality
Hmm.
because I'm tired of the macho red pill men supposed to be this. Your sexuality does not make you less of a man,
Yeah.
and damn sure make you more of a man. You know, because even to my point, like Master Arch, I love him. I got to get him back on the show
Yes.
too. And I can't. He got the line of the year. He got the line of the decade for me. Dude was like, God, I just dream every day you suck me sucking your dick. He said, well, I dream of you taking me to a Gucci store and we doing on the shopping spree. I said, I like you. But see, that's what I mean. You can't, I don't understand anyone could sit here and think that if I dominate a man, that makes me less manly or it makes me gay. No, it makes me more manly.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between a boss? A boss dominates his employees. You know what I'm saying? The coach dominate the football players. The quarterback dominate his team because they look at him to a leader. Leader dominates. So what difference between a dominant leader? Just a name.
Just a name. And I must say, I have always been a leader ever since I was, I've always been like this, and I've always been more interested in like, how do we empower each other? And like, also, I love the fact that I woke up today with $1,500 in my bank account and I didn't have to do shit. See what I mean?
See, let's talk about energy, right? That's when he said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know I'm going to interview this dude 2 days. Now, understand this is going to be released down the line, like sometime probably in December, if I'm correct. For my special smoker, this is a special smoke. I went on my mini vids, right? Now I'm going to tell this same story on another pod, but y'all, I'm going to remind y'all this is my first time telling it in general. I go on my mini vids. I see that they got to pay me $1,000 and some odd dollars. I said, wait a second. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a mistake. No. Here's the funny part, right? Energy. I got a song that's called Bounce on the D. And I did what's called an audio video where it's the album cover and just a video of the music playing, whatever. I had the most views for the month of September, so it gave me $1,000 bonus.
Wow.
Now, mind you, I made more money with music in 1 month than I ever did in porn in 1 month for one site. Now, have I made 1,000 in a month or 2,000? Yeah, over multiple sites, but not but one site. But the reason why I bring up this story is that what I mean by energy. That people heard the song and understand I'm talking dumb shit in it. I'm talking about a cup, all that shit, right? Said to get the cup to clean it up. Bust a nut, get the cup to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? And even to the point that people don't realize, even on that end, the bullets are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
In that situation. The wife is a dom, dominatrix. The color is submissive. So how much people don't realize BDSM is actually an imitation of real life? Thoughts?
I would say kind of like taking it back to what you were talking about the music industry and porn. What is the difference? Tell me. What is the difference between someone seeing me perform on stage and then going home and thinking about me and masturbating, or someone watching me on the internet and masturbating to me? They're the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is maybe like a little bit of the marketing, which is also owned by similar companies,
Yeah, actually. And you want to be technical about it, it's the same blueprint, different product. Same blueprint.
Exactly.
Period. Like I told somebody this, I said, your album is actually your website. Your singles is your scenes. Period. So we make money off of streaming as well as direct sales. No different than music. Period. You got to make a cute cover. You got to take cute pictures. All that shit. Period. Even to in the dom, we have to market ourselves, especially we trying to monetize it. You feel what I'm saying? Like even when I look at your pictures and stuff like that, it's like I ain't gonna play. It does look rock starish, but I digress. But but you get what I'm coming from. Just like Superior G, look the way she markets herself. Period.
Yes,
So how important is it for a dom to market itself the right way to attract more subs?
it's very important. So even like from the beginning, you really need to think about, how do I want my menu to look? How do I want my purpose to be seen as a dom? Like, how do I, my one of my best friends says, how do I reverse engineer this, right? From the inside out. What is my purpose? What is my name? Why does my name sound like this? Like, why,
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, my name was King Lux Cosmo, and I changed my name to Celestial Goddess Luxor. Well, let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
why. From a marketing and brand perspective, because I don't look aesthetically like an alpha dom. A lot of the
Yeah.
alpha doms that are on Twitter are like really muscular and like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, which is totally cool. Like that's like my ex-boyfriend. But I am more feminine outwardly. So goddess is more enticing, and it is. And as soon as I changed my name, that's when I started getting more sense, and everything kind of started to make sense. Like, oh, celestial, like healer, like
Mm-hmm.
God, goddess. Then it all kind of just started to follow suit. But if you don't have a game plan, or you don't really think about marketing or think about the websites, like ManyVids, like Real Adult Fans, like Loyal Fans,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many different content websites too. Like, you need to start, and a lot of people don't even realize you can just stack content from a long time ago too. Like, people don't
Yeah.
realize, like, gold in your iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. What's old is new if they ain't seen it. It's only
Yeah.
old if people didn't see it. But see, to me, that's what I mean by it's like I said before, with it, even with like I said, even with the BDSM, cause even like on Fat Life, you see the Dons post pictures with their subs and
Yes.
stuff like that. Because the point is, once again, is creating the illusion, creating the energy that will attract subs. If you a male dom and you do not get an unsolicited dick picture, you're not doing it right. I'm just saying. You ladies complain about unsolicited dick pictures. No, 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 no. If you, as a male dom, do not get a unsolicited dick picture from a sub, with a message saying, "I would love you to dominate me," you're not doing a good job. I'm just saying, because just on the marketing tip, because like I
Mhm.
said, it's because people don't realize the sub picks the dom. We don't pick them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And anytime, because even if I talk to a sub, I never ever say to them, "I want you." I just say hi. How you doing? Da-da-da, da-da-da. Period. And how many guys on how can I'm trying to get to say the right thing. How many guys think being a dom equals sex? And why is that?
A lot. I think, honestly, like, a lot of people equate domination with sex because a lot of men want to get dominated sexually.
Mhm.
And that's why they assume that it isn't mental and that it's always sexual. They always end up going there. Like, whenever I go on Twitter and my friends who are cash masters invite me to their like Twitter spaces, it's always like, you're a fag, and like da 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 da, and like getting into that aspect of it. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I find it very fascinating, like, because I understand psychology and I understand spirituality of like, you are really, really, really into the degradation of what is perceived and thinking that that is you getting dominated. But For me personally, especially when it comes to um, financial domination, or when it comes to findom or femdom, when I see another man and I know that I'm going to tie them up, or I know that they're going to go into a mesmerizing voice drain with me, the very first thing that I'm thinking of is like, this is really fucking sexy that this person is being vulnerable with me. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
thinking about having sex with them. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I feel like a lot of men uh, are afraid again of submission, and they
Yeah.
equate submission with getting fucked in the
Weakness.
ass. And weakness. It always goes to weakness and anal sex.
That's funny to me. And that is so funny to me. Even though a woman pegging you does not make you gay, fellas. No. It's just a strong prostate exam. That's all.
It's a strong pro. Yeah. It
It
is.
now understand. I don't get pegged,
Yeah.
but I'm just letting you know it's not gay though. But I will get my ass ate out. Fuck that. She can tongue fuck that. This shit out my butthole. Fuck that. So, so look. I done got to the end of this one because I got some more stuff I need to do. So
Okay.
you know what this means, people. We ain't even touched the surface. So you know I got to ask this man, this celestial goddess, the $1,000,000 question. Can I call you a smoke buddy?
Of course you can.
See, there you go, people. He will be back here on the Smokers Lounge for sure, because I would love to talk to him. Also, I'm working on something. I'm going to bring him. I might get Superior G and one other dominatrix to come, and we do a little panel episode 4 of the Premium Smoke Room, one of my special event episodes. I'm going to see if I can put that together. Y'all know what it is. It's on Loyal Fans. 5 premium podcasts for you to enjoy, with special event episodes such as what I just mentioned, which we call the VIP Smoke Room. And it gets more candid, gets more provocative, gets more wild, it gets more crazy. The tits come out, dildos might pop out. You don't know unless you subscribe. Plus, check out the Triple X video store where you can see my work as I give these ladies the work, because big dicks grow in the sticks. That's why they call me Big Country. There you go. Also, for my Spotify users, I got you too. Savage Smoke, where I talk to the industry's top male talents and producers about the industry. We give you that real smoke about the industry through a male's perspective. Plus, over 400, might be close to 5. I don't know by the time they drop. Who knows? Episodes ranging from limited podcast series that I did in the past, premium smoke podcast episodes that's not on Loyal Fans, and special stuff that I'm going to do for y'all on Spotify. So subscribe whether you want that premium smoke or you want to get some of that savage smoke, or get both. Either way, subscribe to the Smokers Lounge. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, can you tell everybody where they can find you, spend money, and all that good stuff?
So you can find me at www.luxcosmo.com. That's luxcosmo.com. And I'm also on Twitter as Lux Cosmo with 2 X's. Mm-hmm.
Say no more. So I'm about to bring him back so we can discuss more medium stuff. I know he got some stories. So,
I do.
what did we give you to smoke over this week? What did you learn? Well, I gave you another part of the male sexual spectrum. See, there's spectrums in everything. There's spectrums sexuality of women, spectrum sexuality of men. There's spectrum of cucking. The point is that you must know yourself and accept yourself first. See, we so busy trying to get acceptance and favor from others, but we don't get it from ourselves first. So we
Mm,
feel unfulfilled. That's why I tell anybody it is best to live your truth, because you live your truth and your true self, you will feel better. Yeah, you might get ridiculed. Yeah, you might get picked. But at the end of the day, some of them motherfuckers that picking on you, they're not happy with themselves. It's more like projecting. Because that same dude that might be teasing him, call him gay, might be on the low taking it in the ass. But because he ain't, I'm about to piss y'all off, man enough. That's why I said man enough. Real men accept responsibility for who they are, what they are, and they're unapologetic about it. So all you people who keep calling yourself a real man, are you? Smoke that over. So with that being said, you know how we end these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Luxor, tell everybody goodbye.
Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you so much.
For sure, and we are. See, my computer always moving slow, people. We about to phase out in a second, just trying to freeze. There we go. Bye.